Genocide, man. Have you got the genocide? We've been out there in the fields. We're out there shouting. It's a genocide, bro. Get with it or get lost. It's a genocide, man. Get with it, bro. The fuck are they talking about? Well, we're going to be talking about Alex Peretti and the peaceful protest from the left.
Now it's time for Lefties Losing It, and the mainstream leftist media has hit rock bottom and started
They're losing their shits.
digging. Their determination to smear the Trump administration has seen news anchors behave like this.
So you have an issue with the First Amendment. You don't think that people should be exercising their First Amendment rights to speak about policies that they don't like.
Doesn't matter if you're left or the right. I hate hypocrites because you're saying you can do all this, but at the same token, out of your breath, you can't do that. You can't do this. It's so stupid.
Jay, do you actually think you have a First Amendment right to blow a whistle in the ear of law enforcement, to disobey a lawful command from law enforcement, to interfere with a law enforcement investigation, to carry a gun without a proper ID or license as is required under Minnesota law, and then to violently resist arrest? You think you have a First Amendment right to do all that, Jake?
Jake thinks so.
So you think that he should have been killed? It was all his fault?
Nobody wants any American citizens to be killed for no reason. None, especially by the government or the police or by a law-abiding citizen. We don't want anyone dead. But it so happens to be the guy is disobeying the law. What we saw yesterday in that video, spitting, kicking the cars, breaking stuff in the ICE agents' cars, causing a hostile scene. And yeah, he doesn't seem like a real American, because a lot of us wouldn't be doing that. Nobody said that. Fuck around and find out.
It was Jake Tapper being schooled by former Trump official Chad Mizell. Witness how he pushes back against conservatives making rational, factual points. Compare that to how he behaves with the left, like this guy.
I understand that, but they take people to Fort Snelling here, which literally was built as a concentration camp, and Alligator Alcatraz, which I think we can all agree is a concentration camp.
With no facts, no proof. We haven't seen anyone die. Not in chambers. No proof. You just spewing stuff on CNN. And that's what they're doing these days. Just let anybody go off the cuffs. Where's the fact checkers? They were all about that during back and forth for presidency. Where's the fact checkers? It just seems to be about these days about politics, about feelings, instead of just about facts. That's crazy.
Not saying they're Dachau. I'm not saying they're putting people in ovens yet.
There you are.
But these are concentration camps.
Okay.
I don't need to argue with you about that.
Just disgraceful stuff from CNN and Russian collusion hoaxer Jake Tapper. But
Crazy.
he is not alone at being a lefty losing it on that station. Here is another anchor, Abby Phillip. Let's see how consistent she is. This is her after Ilhan Omar was sprayed by a mystery liquid.
Has been the center, and you heard it there from the president, the center of a lot of awful attacks.
It's not awful attacks. When you're speaking facts, she's always in the center of where money is missing, right? Whatever she gets into, there's always some, you heard it from her mouth, some attack going on, or there's always some issue going on with her brother, with the kids center, their Leering center. Anything she puts her hands on is always a problem. Money's disappearing, and I really don't know how she's still in Congress. I really don't, or in the Senate, wherever she is. And now you got people on CNN just spewing unfactual stuff and then trying to blame Trump for this. When people are trying to kill Trump, it's okay, right? Because he spew hate. That's crazy, man.
Called her garbage. Donald Trump is actually responsible for the vitriol. So is there going to be any acknowledgement of that? Should there be? It's not about the politics of the individual. I mean, look at these people. The thing that they have in common is their complete lack of mental stability. Why is that not the conversation? Why are we in this place of who's to blame? Is it the Democrats or the Republicans? The Republicans aren't trying to assassinate the Democrats. And a lot of talk of they. And when it's not a they, it's just a person. It's an individual.
And staying with CNN, they're now giving a platform to people too crazy for MSNBC, including this ignorant nincompoop who seems to think it was a right-winger who murdered Charlie Kirk.
Also not.
With the facts, we know that guy was dating a transgender, transitioning person. He said he didn't like the right. He didn't like how his family was becoming Trump supporters. He hated how Charlie was talking about transgenders, and that hurt his feelings because he's dating a man. But yet, they're saying it's from the right. We know that's not a fact at all. But yet, they're spewing this on CNN. And a lot of these people who still believes in the old media is watching this and believe in whatever they're saying on top of TV.
Forget, Charlie Kirk was murdered. The president...
Not by a left-wing extremist. That person espoused very right-wing extremists.
Look, if you look at the targets, if you look at people in office, there's...
The right attacks the right.
People...
You know, that's why Jimmy Kimmel's lies about Charlie's murderer matter, because simpletons like Tiffany Cross heard it and believed it, and to this day continue to repeat it.
Jimmy Kimmel. He was never good back then, the early 2000s. Not good now. And anything Trump says, he fake cries, he lies, he thinks he's funny, and he always talking some mess. I just hate hypocrisy of what's going on, but never with facts. And the facts they do spew, they're making it up.
Tiffany Cross has also been on CNN inciting violence against ICE agents by claiming they are militia and white supremacists.
It's not just white people in ICE or DHS, of different races in those companies. So I don't know why she's saying that, but she's just making it up, really.
Did you just say ICE officers are militia?
Yeah, they're definitely not a militia, and they're definitely not white supremacists at all.
Yes, have you not been paying attention?
Yeah, I
they
think you're
certainly mirror
stretching
the
it a little
Gestapo.
bit. You know, that's very...
I don't think I'm stretching anything. I think we have seen, but we have not seen,
you know,
but we have not seen our gang members committing violence. What we have seen are ICE agents
Hold on one second.
kill people.
But Tiffany, you're saying that based, you're just making a supposition here.
Yeah, you're just making it up with no facts, no nothing. I mean, you're spewing hate, but fake information, just like you claim Trump and their administration is doing. Just nothing but lies. She needs to stop, and then she can get very in trouble for that. Very in trouble.
There's no concrete evidence.
You got to be careful. That's way
there was some support. There was some
men and women serving the government.
We have seen white supremacist tattoos
risking their lives, serving the government.
Risking their lives, they're taking lives,
You're calling them Proud Boy militia. Did you say that?
Well, I did not call them Proud Boy militia, but I think it's disgraceful that you're sitting here. I'm actually not. But I think that there are white supremacist tattoos on their
white supremacist federal officers.
Yeah, white supremacist federal officers.
Like, where are you going with this? Why would you say that?
Right. Why would you say that? What was the premise of what you're saying and what outline you're trying to put? Now, all white people are white supremacists. If you're on ICE or working for the government or working with DHS, you had to be a white supremacist. So what are you saying about the Latinos, black or Asians or any other races that working for the government? What are you calling them? Seems like you're going pretty far.
What does one say? Notice Abby Phillip, the host there, defending her while Kevin O'Leary, who's a fellow panelist, had to step in to be the adult to try to inject some sort of sanity into proceedings. Now, let's come home to Melbourne, Australia, where waving the Australian flag and being proud of your country can see you attacked like this.
Are you okay?
Yeah, I just been accosted by people like that.
Being accosted, you can leave.
I can be proud of my country, okay?
Well, you shouldn't be.
They must be paying these people across the world. Why wouldn't you be proud to be Australian? So you can't be proud of, anybody can't be proud of their country, but you can be proud of, Palestine. Oh yeah, you can be proud of Palestine and Palestinians, but you can't be proud of an Australian. You can't be proud of your home country, Australia. Come on, man, that's crazy.
Well, then why don't you go to Palestine?
Yeah, they're Palestine.
Because there's genocide there that this country is funding.
Hey.
Oh, so first it was America that's funding it. Now Australia is funding Palestine. It's funny how no matter where you go, the UK, Australia, America, Japan, we're all funding Palestine, right? But it couldn't possibly be that the bad guys are there. They are the bad guys, right? It couldn't be possibly be that.
Stop yelling.
There's a genocide.
It's a genocide, man. Have you got the genocide? We've been out there in the fields. We're out there shouting. It's a genocide, bro. Get with it or get lost. It's a genocide, man. Get with it, bro. Fuck are they talking about?
What about all the
that are still dying in custody? What about the fact that this country is built on stolen land? You don't give a
Oh, now they're on it too. So now America was stolen, London and them was stolen. Now Australia was stolen. Okay.
What does that mean? You're a piece of racist.
Now since you're white, you're a racist because you're white. That's crazy.
Good thing you're standing in the shade because I know that you're so white because you don't belong here. You're European. This is it.
Oh, because you're white and European, you don't belong in Australia, right? You don't belong there. And because that guy's yelling louder and being belligerent, that means he's right? Fuck is wrong with people, bro? These people need to get smacked. I know that for a fact. Get back down to reality. And look at people in the background. That guy's yelling at her, spewing hate, saying everybody was there. Fuck you. We need to go to a different land. We need to bring the original people there. But yet, it's okay to yell at them. But yet, you yell back at that guy who's yelling. It'll be a problem.
Indigenous land.
Unbelievable. And really,
right. We feel the same here in America. People are doing the same shit. It's crazy.
shame on the men there who stood around and listened to that unhinged diatribe.
That's exactly what I said. The people behind the guy yelling, they didn't do shit at all. They're just letting that girl getting yelled at.
And said nothing, did not step in to defend that woman. You know, where is chivalry? Where are the men these days? Now, staying in Melbourne, let's go to the Australian Open. And even a Grand Slam tournament is not safe from lefties losing it.
Oh, yeah, remember that? We just seen that, too, the other day on ESPN. That's crazy.
Making utter pests of themselves with questions like this to tennis star Taylor Fritz.
There's a lot happening back home in the U.S. and kind of has been for a lot of the last year, and I'm just kind of wondering how you're feeling about all of it.
I mean, not sure what we're like specifically talking about, but there is a lot going on in the U.S. and I don't know. I feel like whatever I say here is gonna get put in a headline, and it's gonna get taken out of context. So
always, the left is always gonna twist it. No matter what side you're on, they're always going to twist it. He's right, man. They're going to twist into their narrative, and that's why he's even asking the questions. It's not about the sport. He's just trying to start shit. It's not even about the sport anymore. Now politics is going to anywhere you're going, into gaming, entertainment, movies, clothes, food. You can't say shit about somebody harassing you about political stuff. And it's annoying, bro. Like, really. You know, when we're watching these sports, we want to get away from politics. We want to relax. We want to settle. We want to be cool.
Well, I'd really rather not do something that's going to cause a big distraction for me in the middle of the tournament.
Not a bad answer, Taylor, but would have been better to tell the activist journalist that he shouldn't be misusing his media pass at the Australian Open to push his pathetic political ideology and being a little lefty pest.
Yep.
Hard to take that out of context. Let's hear the same sort of question being posed to Amanda Anisimova, who tries to give an honest answer, but he doesn't like it.
Here we go.
I've been asking a lot of the American players just how
this was going viral last week. More political stuff.
How it feels to play under the American flag right now, and I'm curious how you feel.
Yeah, I mean, I was born in America, so I'm always proud to represent my country. And
we love America. We represent America. Always American. Always to the day we die.
Yeah, a lot of us are doing really well, and it's great to see a lot of, great athletes on the women's side, on the men's side. So, yeah, I feel like we're all doing a great job representing ourselves.
Yep.
But the far left hack masquerading as a tennis reporter wasn't satisfied with a real answer. He wanted his anti-Trump moment. So he had another go, and Amanda here really deserves a trophy for not rolling her eyes at this clown.
Sure. Sorry, just to clarify a little, I mean, sort of in the context of the last year of everything that's been happening in the U.S., does that complicate that feeling at all?
I don't think that's relevant.
It's not relevant to the sport of tennis, not whatsoever. Like you said, he's just trying to get a moment because he hates Trump, and they're just focused on trying to win the championship, win the tournament.
Hey Amanda, well played. One of the unique things about tennis is...
Yes, a reporter asking a tennis question to a tennis player at a tennis tournament. How quaint. But the petulant pest was back with the same tired old line of questioning, and this time it was Madison Key's turn.
This is a pretty sensitive subject, but the U.S. is a year into the second Trump administration now, and a lot of people are suffering. And I'm wondering how you're feeling about things back home personally, and specifically what the mood is like in Florida.
Yeah, that's a tough question. I feel, I don't know, I don't like to kind of dabble too much into politics just because it's just not the space that I really want to say that much on. Just hope that everybody can kind of at some point come together.
What the mood is like in Florida. The mood is awesome. I was there recently. Everyone's happy. Everyone's thriving. It's a red state. What the hell is that guy on about? Here's another player being asked the most ridiculous, convoluted question about immigration, ICE, US politics, and Lunatian handled this well. Note the look of disdain on his face.
It's also interesting that you're both second-gen immigrants to the US. Like, in the context of everything that's happening at the moment with Trump and ICE, like, what does your heritage mean to you, and how important are immigrants to America and American sport today?
Wait, before you answer that, ICE is for illegal immigrants. That means crossing the border illegally. No matter what race you are, illegally, we don't like that. Nobody around the world likes that. Now you're taking advantage of our system, of the hospital, because we got to take care of you. Free food because you have nowhere to work or eat. You got to get a TIN number, which is Social Security. All that for free. Car, all that stuff. That probably can cost just one person at least $100K at least. Now try to fit a family. We don't hate immigrants. This country was built on immigrants. We hate people doing it illegally because it's a long line to get into this country. Now you're saying fuck everybody in that line and fuck the people that's working hard for you to even get a chance to live in this country off our taxes. So fuck the reporter keeps asking these dumbass questions.
I really wanted to talk about that right now.
Charlie.
But there are always tennis players keen to play politics, and among them is Coco Gauff. And she was not only keen to play politics, but to play the victim.
You're usually pretty outspoken about political issues, and
No, why? You're not a victim. I'm not talking about just black people in general. I'm just saying there is nothing going on with black people in ICE. None. Unless you're coming illegally from Africa or from the Trinidad's, places like stuff like that. Unless you're coming here illegally. If you're coming legally and you got family here, we love you. All for it. Especially down in New York and Miami. So I don't know what these reporters are trying to do, but it's ridiculous, man.
I'm curious how you feel about the state of the U.S. 1 year into the second Trump administration.
I mean, I think I've already stated my opinions in the past on how I feel about it. And yeah, I mean, I've hoped forward that we can have a lot more peace in our country. I feel a bit fatigued talking about it just because of the fact that it is hard also, I think, being a black woman in this country and having to experience things even online and seeing your marginalized communities being affected.
Yes, very hard as a black woman in America in 2026. Coco Gauff is the highest paid female athlete in the world right now. She reportedly
just like how Michelle Obama, she's having a hard time. It's crazy.
Earned more than $30 million last year, most of it through endorsements in racist America, where she is apparently marginalised. Give me strength. She's got so much money, she can afford to do this. Here she is a couple of days ago in Melbourne, absolutely losing it. Now, let's look at the left's idea of a peaceful protester, someone they describe as a gentle soul who was just observing and protecting people.
January 13th, showing a man who appears to be Alex Preddy interacting with federal immigration agents 11 days before Border Patrol shot and killed him. Our footage was analyzed by the BBC, whose facial recognition technology confirmed his identity to a 97% degree of accuracy.
Yes, the man believed to be Alex Preddy spat on law enforcement, and then as they drove away, he kicked in the taillights while screaming expletives and threats. Peacefully, of course.
Why wasn't he arrested right there at that moment? I really don't understand. Because if I go to a store, a mall, or my neighbor's house, if I start trashing their car, I'm arrested, possibly in jail for a few days. I mean, whatever it is, you get in trouble with the law. You get the message of vandalize somebody's property. It's crazy.
Let's have a look at a little more of this footage.
Federal agents were blocking a street at the corner of East 36 and Park Avenue in Minneapolis. Arrived around 10 a.m. We saw observers shouting agents as they walked back to their vehicles. When they started driving away, the man kicked their taillight. An agent then got out of the vehicle, grabbed him, and pushed him to the ground. The man in our footage is wearing a similar outfit to what Preddy was wearing on the day he was killed. What appears to be a gun is also visible above his waistband.
Interesting. And somehow, despite the violent antics you just saw, the man in that video, reportedly Alex Preddy, was not arrested. Yesterday, we brought you a report from CNN who said Preddy had been injured in a tussle with federal agents a week before he was fatally shot at another violent protest.
Alex Preddy had a physical encounter with federal agents about a week before he was shot and killed by law enforcement.
So this guy was violent, disruptive, vandalized people's property, cussing, spitting, threatening, holding a gun. But you know what's funny? When black, I'm gonna pull that card this time. When black people do that, we're thugs, we're ghetto, we're low life, we're monkeys. Hello, monkey. We're all that. We're monsters. We're all that, right? Yeah, does the exact same thing as some of these black people that they portray on the news and in these movies. He's a hero. Same with Renee Good. They're heroes. I think that's very, very telling of what they try to portray on TV. It's crazy. And I'm not the one that pulled a race card or, have people feel sorry for black people, men or women. But that's bullshit, though. It's bullshit.
Sources tell CNN that Preddy broke a rib when a group of federal officers tackled him while he was protesting.
Let's bring in documentary filmmaker Ami Horowitz. Ami, it's not clear yet whether the violent interaction we just saw was the same one CNN were reporting on, where Preddy suffered a broken rib. But it's clear that these protests in Minnesota are not peaceful. They're not organic. They're very well planned. And
there you go, right there. Very well planned. They're not organic. And if that guy was hurt so bad, what was he doing out there rustling, tussling with the ICE agents? He wasn't hurt. They're just making that shit up. He wasn't hurt at all.
Executed uprisings.
Yeah, he should not have been killed. Why should not have been killed? Because he should have been in jail those 11 days before. It's amazing to me when I heard that reporting that you just had with Dana Bash. And Dana Bash started that conversation with, he was protesting and they broke his ribs. No, that's not what happened, okay? He was protesting and then kicked in the taillight, attacked a vehicle full of federal agents.
Yeah, if you ever had a broken rib or even bruised it, you can't move for days. It is hard to breathe. He did not have a broken rib. As a nurse, he would, damn well he'd have been in the hospital. They would have had this all on front page news. They would have been at his ICU unit. They would have been out in front and doing all kind of spins on that. He was not hurt. He was not injured. That's just straight up lies. It's just bullshit. Just all bullshit. It's all games. That's why I don't like political stuff, because it's real people's lives in their hands. They're just spinning whatever they can get ahead. And once this is over, it will always be something else. That's why I don't like politics.
They came out and they took him down, and then his rib broke. That's the way this thing broke down. But he should have been jailed, right? That's why he should have been killed, because I don't understand how he wasn't arrested at that point. I mean, I know why, because they had so much other stuff to deal with, because these protests are going everywhere. Right. Agents are being attacked everywhere. They can't be everywhere at all times, and they can't arrest every single one of these people. Otherwise, half of Minneapolis wouldn't be in jail, which, by the way, I don't think is a terrible idea, okay? No, their capacity for violence, these people on the left, has no bounds, okay? I was here last week when we reported and showed the video of how I raised money to murder ICE agents, okay? I was very clear about the use of proceeds. They were happy to give me money to kill ICE agents. This is what they want. They want blood on the streets. This is what these federal agents have to deal with.
Yep, they want them dead, burned alive on the stake. They want these ICE agents dead with their heads off.
On a day-to-day basis here, okay? It doesn't help when you have Democrats and the media continue to use Nazi imagery when comparing these federal agents. It's so disgusting. It's so beyond the pale. And as to your question regarding this being pre-planned, yes, it is pre-planned. When I was in Minneapolis, I saw carpools of people coming to these spots and letting people out. I saw pre-printed signs being taken off of trucks.
That's what I've been saying. If you ever worked in like a high office business, you know damn well just to get these prompts now, especially now after COVID, to get these prompts that printed out, especially with color, that takes a lot of money to get stacks, and it takes at least about an hour just to get at least 50, and then put them on perfect sticks. And then you got to coordinate where to find these people at, and then coordinate again to what corner they're going to be at, and then coordinate again to see how many paper and sticks they need, and then what type of food, toilets, what time they're going to be there, what time everybody's going to meet up. It's just too perfect, and it just seems like it's like a war going on. It's just like an attack on America right now. It's really what's going on.
For being used. Of course, this is all pre-planned, this is all pre-funded, and when this is all over, there needs to be an investigation of how this went down, and people need to go to jail. Look, Rita, if you go, the same things happening in Minneapolis are happening all over the country at the same time. Now
Yep, that's another point I was pointing out too. Like right here in Sacramento, how the people in Minnesota is contacting people in Sacramento and saying, hey, we're protesting here, you protest at the same time, and have all these same printed paperwork out, same sticks, same money, food, water, toiletry, all that stuff within that same hour. We didn't know that guy was going to get shot. Preddy and Renee Good. We didn't know they were going to get shot, but yeah, they were prepared already across the whole country. It's crazy.
Not hearing about it in red states because this is done with no problems. The states help the U.S. government give access to criminals, and then they deport them. There aren't any problems. But this has been ginned up by these blue states to create these problems. Now, having said that, the Republicans and the president have fallen into a Democratic trap. Okay, this thing can't be, the trap can be flipped, and it should be flipped, maybe will be, but we fell into a trap when this was an 80-20 issue, Rita, right? Arresting illegal immigrants that are criminals was maybe a 90-10 issue across the country. And that was the goal. And that's what's happening in most parts of the country. But what the Democrats did was they were smart. They said, well, we're not going to help you. We're not going to give you access to these criminals. And therefore, they started arresting people who weren't criminal. And that's when the whole thing flipped. And that's why we lost. And by the way, I'm not saying that non-criminal illegals should not be deported. They should be. But when you're trying to deal with an optics issue, we're falling down because we fell into the Democratic trap set up by them beautifully, and they have flipped the script on this issue in terms of polling.
Great video. Shout out to Bahini. This was a great video and great breakdown from that guy from New York because, like you said, this was going for people from over the border till now to Americans. Now, we're not focused on grabbing the illegals. Now, the battles right now is just between Americans. Anyhow, it's your boy KL Sounds. I hope you liked the video. I know this has been a long video, but I'm gonna chop it up and make it sound a little bit better. But if you like this series, give this video a thumbs up, comment down below, share this on social media platforms. Like I said, my goal is to get from 3K to hopefully 10K by the end of the year. It's January, we're on a roll. Don't stop now. The content is going to get better. I'm gonna figure this out. The content is going to be way better in the shorts and long-term content too. So I hope you like it. I hope you guys have a good day, good night. See you in the next video. Peace.